Hey, what's going on YouTube? I'm Dark Jack and I just got done playing some Destiny Alpha multiplayer, and I'm going to give you my honest first impressions of it. Now, Destiny's multiplayer is a gear-based multiplayer, meaning that everything that you have, all of your weapons and armor, carry over with you into the multiplayer. And so what that means is that if you're a high-leveled player with really good weapons and a wide variety of weapons to choose from, you're going to have an advantage over lower-level players who don't have as good of guns as you. Now, that is especially true if you have a good heavy weapon, and the heavy weapons are the most powerful weapons in the game. And the way that works is that everyone starts off with a heavy weapon if you acquired one in the game, but you have to get the ammo for it on the maps. So that's Destiny's way of doing power weapons. Rather than picking up power weapons in the map, like in Halo you would have the rocket launcher, the shotgun, and the sniper rifle. In this game, you start off with the powerful weapons, and then you have to get ammo for them that is scattered throughout the map. And that serves as this game's way of forcing you to be active and to move around the map and to acquire ammo. So in this game, I do get some heavy ammo, and I'm using my Hipfire LMG, which is my heavy weapon. That gives me a huge advantage over anyone who doesn't have that weapon. And this game borrows elements from other shooter games. Like Call of Duty, you have aim down sight, you have the domination game type that I'm playing here, and you have an arcade-style shooter where you choose your own weapons. Whereas an arena shooter, like the first 3 Halo games, you start off with the same weapon, so everyone is on a level playing field. But like Halo, in this game you have lots of health, you have a regenerating shield bar, you have no kill streaks, and you have vehicles, like in Big Team Battle. And what I think is that this game is searching for its own identity. It's not trying to be like Halo, and it's not trying to be like Call of Duty. And that could hurt it in the long run. Now, in this game, and unlike Halo, you have aim down sight, ADS. And ADS, I think, slows down the pace of the game. And strafing in gunfights does not work very well. In Call of Duty, if you have the Stalker perk on, in Black Ops 2, you can strafe back and forth while aiming down sight, and it works extremely well. Whereas in this game, when you're aiming down your sights, you strafe back and forth pretty slowly. Also in this game, you cannot sprint constantly, because when you sprint, your aiming speed is really slow. So you have to sprint to get to a location and then stop sprinting to change directions. So it's not like Call of Duty in Modern Warfare 2 where you could run around with the Marathon perk and get lots of kills that way. So in this game, it's a little bit slower than Call of Duty. Also, I found that in general, the multiplayer was pretty unbalanced. And I think they did that on purpose in order to give everyone a chance. So if you had a perfectly balanced multiplayer, the best team would always win. But in Call of Duty, for example, which is an arcade-based shooter, you have built-in randomness into the game to give lesser skilled players a chance. And so this game makes it so that there is a certain degree of chance built in. And one way it does that is through supers, which are your special abilities, which is a one-hit kill. And so for the Titan, once your super is charged up, you can instantly kill any enemy players that get near you with a ground pound attack. And each class has its own super ability. And in Destiny, it's very difficult to get a long kill streak, unless you're in a vehicle. Because after you get into a gunfight with someone, because you have a high amount of health, your health is going to be low after the gunfight if they're shooting at you. And then once you have low health, an enemy player can then pick you off easily. Whereas in Call of Duty, it's easy to get on a long kill streak, because the kills are instantaneous. And when playing Call of Duty and Titanfall, you can get one kill after another, and go on long kill streaks, whereas in Halo, it's much more difficult to do that, and in Destiny as well. So, unless you're playing against bad players, you're not going to get a really long kill streak. And therefore, you have to run together in groups, like in Halo and Gears of War. Now, the biggest issue I had with this game is that it's difficult to find enemy players on the map. Because when you're running around, and the enemy is shooting at you, or another player, they do not show up on the map as a dot. Instead, what happens is that the radar in the corner flashes red in the direction where an enemy is shooting without showing you their exact location. And you can see that as you watch the gameplay. The radar will turn red when the enemy is shooting rather than showing up as a dot on the radar. And so there's no UAV, there are no wall hacks, and there's no radar pulse, which is a big change from previous shooters. You have to actually see the enemy with your eyes if you want to know where they are after the minimap has turned red, showing you the general direction in which they're shooting. So how does this game stack up based on the alpha against other shooters. Well, I don't think it's as good as Halo 3 when it was in its prime, or Call of Duty 4. I don't think it's as good as Black Ops 2 when it was in its prime, or Titanfall right now, even though Titanfall has a pretty low player count. It is a slower paced game than a COD-based shooter, but I think it is better than Call of Duty Ghost. I think it is better than Killzone Shadowfall. But like Killzone, you have an ADS mechanic, and you have a small FOV, or field of view, which does remind me of Killzone to a certain degree. And when you're shooting, it does remind me of Killzone. But I'm not a fan of Killzone multiplayer. And if you look at the population of Killzone on PS4, it's pretty low. So in conclusion, I can't see myself playing Destiny multiplayer for long periods of time like I could with Call of Duty and Halo back in the day. The multiplayer is decent, but it's not great. This is a multiplayer game that is in search of its own identity. However, the co-op in Destiny and the strike missions are decent, and that does sell me on this game. And because it is an MMO game, you can sink a lot of time into this, because it is a time sink. So I hope you guys enjoyed this summary, and I'll see you later.
Zone C lost. You neutralized Zone A. Enemy captured Zone C. You captured Zone A. Zone B lost. Enemy captured Zone B. You neutralized Zone C. Zone C captured. Zone B neutralized. Zone A lost. Zone B secure. Zone A secure. All zones held. You have total control. Zone C lost. Enemy captured Zone C. You neutralized Zone C. Zone A lost. Enemy captured Zone A. Heavy ammo inbound. More efforts like that, we might just win this.